Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome inside the After Hours Lounge. Go ahead and punch in for the night shift in the YouTube comments. Follow us on the stream. Follow us on Twitter at After Hours 1620. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, and become a Bruin tonight. We got a great show lined up for you this evening. Matt Rule spoke today. We'll get to his thoughts. We'll get to our thoughts on what he had to say. Omaha Scott has won their first ever girls basketball state championship. They will join us in studio at 7 o'clock, which means we're going to buy or sell just a little bit early tonight on several different topics around the sporting world. Dan Campen's got a lot of questions for us, like how was Andrew Luck already firing his head coach, which is a statement I did not think I would be making in 2025. And then the head golf coach for the women's team at Bellevue University, Craig Marshall, join us at 7:15. And then a Division I basketball school that qualified for the NCAA tournament has dropped down to Division III. Is this the way of the future? We'll debate at 7:30. And then, as always, we'll wrap up the show with our Pavilion Sanitation trash takes of the night. John Schreiner, Jimmy Allen, Dan Campen with you tonight. Matt Rule was at the podium today. And, boy, this might have been the most quote-worthy Matt Rule press conference of all time. He said a lot of things with a lot of notoriety behind them. And he kind of started off leading into a discussion that happened later when he was asked what he wanted to see out of his team coming back into spring camp. He said he just wanted to see everybody in pretty good shape, lean, stretched out. That way they didn't have to worry about pulled muscles or tears or anything like that out of the gate. And his most interesting quote for the philosophy around the team was, "It's not our job to find out who's going to play. It's our job to find out who can play." And it feels like that's been his approach since day one, like especially in the spring. Like he's never really had that we got to find the guy that's going to start this position. It's been, we need to find a couple of guys that do a lot of things well and then benefit where their strengths help this team at.
Yeah, I guess I took it a little different way. To me, what I heard him saying was, look, it's not our job to go out there and make the decision. It's the players who need to go out there and make the decision for us.
Yeah.
That's what I took it to mean, was that, like, it's less of a, we're going to do this, deep identification of skills and talents and numbers and measurables. No, it's going to be who takes the job, who comes out there and says, this is mine, I have it now, and no one's going to rip it away from me.
But it's never been like, even when you land at Dylan Raiola or you get a Ja'Cory Barney, and he's referenced those guys and put them up on a pedestal, but it's never been about, we got to find out who can help Dylan. It's never been, we got to figure out what Ja'Cory does well. We've got to find guys across the board that can help this team win. And that's always been interesting to me. And a lot of people wanted to know, how is Dane Key adapting to the offense? What do the new guys look like? And how are the transfer portal guys fitting in? And he flat out said, hey, listen, it's the coaches that are kind of behind the eight ball in that situation right now. And that kind of makes sense to some degree, because players have other players they can bounce stuff off. Coaches don't have a defensive coordinator that was here a year ago that they can ask the questions about the system to. John Butler's still kind of piecing this together with that defensive staff as they're learning these things. So I thought that was really interesting. And I didn't think about it that way, but that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just with all the new pieces and how they fit together on the coaching staff is what I'm talking about, right? Like, and figuring out those relationships and how you can work with the position coach next to you, or what your coordinator expects of you as a position coach, and what you can do as a position coach to help further the mission of the defense or the offense or whatever it may be, and how all those relationships work together. I think that's the big learning curve for the coaching staff in the spring, is just figuring out how it all works.
And to that point, I think that's why this season it is the absolute biggest benefit that they're not playing in Ireland or a big away game to start the season. Like, yeah, they're playing Cincinnati, and yeah, it's at Arrowhead Stadium, and that's kind of a big deal. But it's not necessarily that big hump to get over, or an in-conference game where there's a familiarity from opponents and et cetera. You kind of have the ability to kind of piece this thing together for 3 games with Cincinnati, Akron, Houston Christian before you have to play Michigan and Lincoln.
Sure. It is. I mean, it's a lighter schedule. Let's just call it what it is. The non-conference schedule is lighter this year than it has been in years past, and even Colorado wasn't a terribly difficult game. We didn't expect them to be a premier program. Like, we didn't expect it,
even though they beat us 3 out of 4 times.
Right. But you don't even have one of those rivalry games on on the docket in the non-con this year. So it is.
And it's not like Cincinnati's coming off a college football playoff appearance or anything. Maybe the most intriguing comment that he made today was about watching Dana Holgorsen and Dana holding court in practice. And his exact quote was, Dana's very demanding of what he wants in the passing game. He knows exactly what he wants. We watched as a staff, the ones-on-ones, and I learned so much from hearing him talk. That's a quote from Matt Rule, the head coach, that is learning things from his offensive coordinator. That's a benefit to everybody, right? Like if you could get better from the guys underneath you and get a better understanding of what the offense is supposed to look like by standing there just hearing him talk, I think that helps everybody else be on more of the same page.
Well, I mean, you've heard this said before, but the mark of a good leader is someone who hires people who are better than them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? You hire people who are experts in their field. And look, Matt Rule doesn't know the Dana Holgorsen offense like Dana Holgorsen knows the offense.
Right.
So if he came out and said like, Dana's doing all the things I want him to do, like that would be kind of alarming. I would think. This is like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, there's wrinkles in there that he didn't see before.
This means that Matt Rule's letting Dana Holgorsen be himself and do the things that he knows are going to be successful.
A guy that I kind of forgot about that I think is going to be a really nice complementary piece in this offense if he could stay healthy is Jaden Dawson. He was brought up when asked about players switching positions because there was a discussion last year about him maybe playing corner. Matt Rule emphatically said no, he's playing wide receiver. He's got to be a wide receiver this year. And that I think a lot of that is because they feel like they need some guys that can take the top off the defense. And he's a guy that when he was brought in, the speed is all that was talked about with him. And it feels like every time one of the coaches is speaking, we forget about some of these weapons that are still on this team because we're talking about replacing Isaiah Nair and Jamal Banks and Thomas Fedoni and all these guys that have left the program.
And Jalen Lloyd's not there anymore.
Jalen Lloyd's gone as well. Malachi Coleman's gone. But there are still some serious weapons that were pretty highly recruited on this team, including the guys that they brought in as well.
So I think that hearing that Jaden Doss is no longer in the mix at DB should make you feel better about how they feel about the defensive back room.
Sure. Well, and they get Bly Hill back healthy this year. They were really high on him before he got hurt, and I talked about it last night when we were talking about the players that could make an impact with where
I thought about putting Bly Hill on my list.
Yeah, I was going to, and then I thought about that he was going to be a starter before the injury in the spring game, so I didn't really include him into that because I kind of felt like it was a non-factor because he was probably going to be a starter this year if he was going to be a starter last year. And then kind of the quote of the press conference. Matt Rule got a little bullish towards the media with a quote that he gave, a direct quote that he gave a week ago, saying on Dylan Raiola's weight that he said that Dylan knows he can't play at 240, not that he was 240. And some of the media took that and kind of ran with it a little bit. Matt was very adamant. Matt Rule was very adamant that, I'm pretty direct in my message. Well, that's kind of the problem is you've been pretty direct about everything. So when you come out and you say he can't be 240, everybody just goes, oh, then he's 240. Because you haven't left a lot of room for gray area. Now, I don't think Matt Rule has a reason to lie, but it kind of seemed like that was a direct message to his quarterback about what he can and can't be. Now, we've seen the pictures from day one of practice. Dylan Raiola is nowhere near 240.
No. I don't think he ever was.
But to Matt Rule's point, like his father was an offensive lineman. He's a big kid.
He's thick.
He's going to be – weight might be an issue for him for his entire career. Just because if he slacks a little bit, his body type is going to want to produce mass.
He's not Jared Lorenzen, but he could be bulky.
Yeah,
the hefty lefty. Good point.
What did you make of him referencing? I get Ty Robinson coming back and cheering on his guys. Matt Rule talked about Thomas Fedoni coming back immediately too, and there's been all that speculation that Thomas Fedoni must have been told that he needed to leave. That's why he's going to go to the NFL. Does that, like him coming back and wanting to come back and be around guys for pro day after having a pretty good combine for both of those guys, to put it mildly, to come back to senior day and want to be around their guys and cheer on their guys, kind of make squash that thought process for you?
I don't know that it does entirely. But my thought was never that Fedoni was told that he had to leave. my impression of the situation was, look, you know how Thomas Fidone was on social media. You know that he...
That's right. Shut up, Josh Peterson.
He appeared to be a little bit thin-skinned about some things.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a situation where he had gone through an entire season without an injury and felt like the juice of coming back was not worth the squeeze in multiple ways. Like, one, risking another injury that you're like, or go to the NFL and potentially get paid. And two, not dealing with the Nebraska media and what he perceived to be slights against him. So I always felt like it was more of a personality situation than a you got to go situation. Like, I just feel like there was a certain level of discomfort for him with the Nebraska fan base and the Nebraska media that made it a choice for him that was easier to say, I'm going to the league.
Well, if that's the case, and that's an if, I mean, we don't know that, and we're making speculation here. Sure hope he doesn't end up in New York or Pittsburgh or places where they're not very friendly if you don't do things that they think you should be doing on Sundays. Matt Rule talked about the running back room, and he says, I have no concerns at running back. Now, they've been very high on Quentin Ives. We've kind of voiced our concern for why they're so high on him and how it doesn't make sense. I mean, he's got 6 carries for 7 yards in his Nebraska career. I mean, one of them's 4 touchdowns, so you can throw that into the equation too. But kind of listed the rest of the guys, and when he talked about the incoming freshmen, he brought up the fact that guys are going to have to be able to run the ball, pass protect, and catch the football to play. Not to start, to play.
Yeah.
So when you're relying, and when we talked about how high we are on all the incoming freshmen, the guys that are coming back from a year ago, and obviously Emmett Johnson meets the mark on all of those stats. But that's about it from a proven commodity standpoint in all 3 of those facets.
Yeah. And this is why last night when I was talking about Jamarian Parker, like, I think he's going to be able to be effective in the run game. I think he's going to be able to help out in the pass game. It's that pass protection piece for him that it always seems to be the bugaboo for young backs. Like, that's what prevents them from getting on the field early more than anything else, is what they can understand and pick up in the pass protection role.
Matt Rule was asked about what it will look like from a recruiting philosophy standpoint and a roster standpoint as far as NIL and payroll is concerned.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you exactly what he said about that and should it be a concern for the rest of Nebraska's fan base, because Matt Rule said he doesn't know something, and it's a little staggering. We'll tell you what it is when we come back. If you missed the opening segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhour1620. It was brought to you by Allo Fiber. Allo goes beyond internet, bringing fast, reliable speeds with an all-fiber network. Allo goes beyond customer service expectations as well with local teammates. That's right, no robots, 24/7 customer support. Allo goes beyond office doors and office hours, working, hiring, volunteering, and living in our community. So go above and beyond with Allo. Head over to allofiber.com. Get out of the Stone Age tonight. We'll be right back talking about what's next from revenue sharing in Lincoln. We come back on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody. John Schreiner here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Do you hear wedding bells? Do you want to? Are you going to? Well, then I got the place for you to go to get the suit that's going to make you the talk of the wedding party this spring. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Big surprise. That's who we're talking about. 78th and Dodge. They got the showroom right there. All the great brands, all the great tailoring that you're going to need to have your suit game right in 2025. You go in there and you're going to talk to John, Dan, Jake, Deanne, and you're going to get fitted by Monier the tailor for the best suit buying experience that you can possibly get anywhere in the Midwest. If you need a suit, if you need to look great on the big day, you need to get to 78th and Dodge. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
From KETV News Watch 7.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you're
You know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jay's blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jay's options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Time for brackets to be busted and thirst to be quenched. March is here, and so are huge savings from Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola. Coke, 12 packs right now are buy two, get one free all through the end of March. You can get Powerade 12-ounce 8 packs for just $4.99. And nothing makes the craziness get quiet like Coke. 6-pack mini cans, just $2 for $8 all March long. These deals are insane. Stop by Hy-Vee and get them all March.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? Get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jack's app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
It's springtime at Lanahaw Nurseries, and our annual tree harvest has started. We have fresh dug Nebraska-grown trees arriving from our farms daily. Includes a 2-year warranty and professional planting for free. Visit our garden center to handpick your Lanahaw legacy today. From our farms to your yard, Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
I'm Omaha Athletic Director Adrian Dow, and I want to introduce you to 3 Omaha schools that are playing a vital role in keeping our community strong. We serve nearly 600 pre-K through 8th grade students, most of whom come from disadvantaged neighborhoods. These students receive a values-based education with the family support they need. I'm a proud member of the CUES Fund Board, which supports the CUES school system. To learn more, go to CUES Schools, that's CUES schools.org.
This is the official station of the NCAA men's basketball tournament in Omaha. Follow all the action from the first tip to the final buzzer right here. Westwood One's coverage of March Madness is locally presented by Woodhouse GMC Buick and is also locally brought to you by Union Bank and Trust in Omaha, Lanahaw Nursery, and Children's Nebraska. Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app to keep up on the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus this spring. If you're just joining us, Russell Wilson has signed with the Giants. We'll get to that later in the show. I need a reality TV show based around Russell Wilson, Tommy DeVito, and Jameis Winston as a quarterback room. Sign me up for that. I'm here for it. We were talking about what Matt Rule was talking about today, and he was asked about changing in philosophies from a recruiting standpoint. And it was a little staggering to me that his response was, I still don't understand how rev sharing is going to work. That was a direct quote. And I don't think he's alone in that. Like it's probably really hard to wrap your brain around it because it's not like the football program is getting $21 million. The entire athletic department is getting that money. So what is that going to look like for football? What is it going to look like for men's basketball? What's going to look like for the rest of the sports? Because obviously you got to imagine that volleyball is probably going to get a healthy chunk of it as well. Because they absolutely obviously deserve that spot at the table. So it has been this has probably been the two things that have been the most concerning to me about the Matt Rule era is some of the in-game management from the clock management standpoint on Saturdays, and the fact that even though the world was screaming at him, hey, roster cuts are coming. We're cutting down to 105, probably at the maximum. And this coaching staff was still, and to this day, were adding players at a rate that they knew they were going to have to cut. And a lot of that was because Matt Rule said, hey, that's the way the rules are now, and that's the world that I'm going to live in. And now we know, I mean, the parameters are out there. You're getting $21.5 million. And maybe it's a Troy Dannon thing. Maybe it's a university thing. Maybe they just don't know where that money is coming from yet, and they haven't had the conversation with the football coach. That concerns me. That throws up a giant red flag for me that the numbers are out there. You know what the parameters are. Why don't we have an understanding of how this is going to work?
Well, I not to give him a pass on this, but if he doesn't understand it, that's not necessarily his fault.
No, I agree. I mean, but I don't know if it's the best move to say that out loud. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we got this giant money grabbing, attention grabbing that is well covered by all of you media members that are sitting here. We've got these parameters put in place, and we have no idea how they're going to work. Now, to Matt's defense, this is the first time in history that you've had to worry about paying players from out of pocket from the school with a salary cap. So that kind of makes sense. But from the outside looking in, and I'm not an athletic director, I'm not a football coach, but I'm a pretty good numbers guy. And if you tell me I have X amount of dollars to spend, and he mentioned it today, he said, listen, if you have to pay a player $500,000 and this is the number you have, you get 32 players. Like, obviously you need a few more than that, so you got to kind of figure that out. So if it's from that standpoint, I understand. But like, if you don't know how much money you're going to have allocated from you and the school has the number that you could spend, that's a little concerning.
I don't disagree with you. It is concerning, but it's more concerning from an administrative standpoint than a football standpoint, I think. And the reason I say that is because if Matt Rule doesn't understand it, it means that it hasn't been explained to him by the people that are going to administer these things.
Yeah, where that money's coming from.
And how much he's going to be allocated and how he's going to be expected to distribute it. And because like some of those decisions will not be his. Some of those decisions will be up to the athletic department at large of how they are going to split the revenue sharing model.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I think the statement you just made is going to be widely correct across college athletics. I think there's a few campuses, Nebraska included, where it's probably going to start with the football coach, not necessarily the athletic director.
I don't think it's going to start with the football coach.
You don't? Okay.
No. I think that he's going to be told from the athletic department, this is how we're splitting the money. Here's how much you have. And I think that's the way it has to be.
For 98% of athletics, I agree with that statement. But when you have places like Ann Arbor, places like Columbus, places like Lincoln, places like Tallahassee, where the football program pulls the wagon at such a high level, I think it has to start with the biggest revenue collecting team and then be divided amongst everybody else. Because if that's the case, and you want to be dedicated to winning, and you want those revenue sharing dollars coming in, and you want to keep the sellout streak alive, and you want to sell as many runs of pizzas or chicken strip baskets in the stands as you can.
I would like to see a runs of pizza. That would be interesting.
That's it. Yeah, well, hey, listen, runs a 402-951-1620 to give my check for my idea. It feels like there may be 15 to 25 schools where it's probably going to be the football program and everything else.
And Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln is definitely at the top of that list.
I think you run the risk of alienating the rest of your athletic department if you just say, okay, football gets to decide how much money they get and you get the scraps. I don't think that's a good way to do your business. I feel like that's going to cause more problems than it's worth.
I wholeheartedly agree. But I think there are a very finite number of programs where the success and or the money that they bring in already dictates that. And to look your softball or gymnastics coach in the eye and tell them that that's not the case is almost insulting to their intelligence.
Well, I don't think you have to necessarily insult their intelligence. I think you can say, like, we're the athletic department and we are going to make the decisions. The football coach is not going to make the decisions on how much money the gymnastics team gets. That's going to come from the top. And it's not to say that there won't be conversations had with the football coach and maybe even ask him, how much money do you think you need?
Right. So that's more what I'm getting at. I'm not saying Matt Rule is going to walk in and go, hey, you can only give the gymnastics coach $40,000 this year. I'm saying for a guy that's willing to stand up at a podium and tell you how much you need for a quarterback and how much a left tackle costs, you don't think he's going to be heavily involved, if not calling the shots on where that money is going?
I don't think he's going to be calling the shots. I think he'll have input, but I don't think it's going to be his decision to make. And I don't think it can be.
I think in a fair and balanced University of Nebraska at Lincoln world, if you are balancing the budget and you are doing revenue sharing properly, you bring in your men's and women's basketball coach, your volleyball coach, probably your baseball and softball coach, and Matt Rule. You sit them all down and you say, all right, you folks are our breadwinners. Bolt, get out of here. Fred, don't worry, we'll take care of you. The rest of you, stay. We're going to have a conversation. Danny, your voice gets to be extremely loud in this room because your team has gone to the national championship consistently.
Well, not even that. I don't think that's like...
We know you're brand new. We know you're at the helm. You are the one who needs money because your transfer portal...
They make money. That's why they need money.
Your transfer portal is much crazier than the football transfer portal is. No matter what you say, that is a smaller team, and they are constantly pulling in transfers to Nebraska because we say, look at our pastures, they are green.
Dan, I
just think it's silly to think that Matt Rule is going to be the one to drive this.
Highlight this quote that just came in on the stream.
From Sad Husker fan.
From Sad Husker fan who's in the night shift. Thank you, Sad Husker fan.
Thanks for
joining the night shift.
Thanks for clocking in tonight.
It's not fair to make Matt Rule decide where the money goes. I agree 100%.
That's not what I said. I totally agree with that sentiment. I think it should come from the athletic department. I just believe that there's at least 30 schools where that's not going to be the case. You got to remember.
And I don't. I don't think that's the way it's going to go.
Do you remember when Andy Grieger was talking about Jim Tressel getting in trouble in Columbus? And he said, I should be worried about Jim Tressel firing me, not the other way around. There are schools,
that was a stupid thing to say.
I agree, but I think he believed that. And there are certain schools with certain head coaches where that is the case. Like you live in a world now where Ryan Day has won a national championship and is a hot commodity in Columbus. He's going to have there are very few places where the head coach of the football program is going to be held at a higher standard than the athletic director. And I think Lincoln is one of those places. And because, listen, football and volleyball, absolutely self-sustaining. And Dan, to your point, I don't think it'll be, hey, Will Bolt and hey, Fred Hoiberg, you're good. Danny Busby will stick around. I think she's number 2 on that list because of revenue generating money. And probably Fred Hoiberg after that, and then Will Bolt.
Not for long.
Yeah,
Fred Hoiberg is. You know how I feel about Fred Hoiberg. We don't need.
Right, no, but I don't think it's going to be about winning. I think it's going to be about who makes money. Because at this point, it has to be because of the House lawsuit, because of revenue sharing. Like, it's probably not going to matter if you're successful. It's going to matter if you're winning. Or not matter if you're winning, but if you're making money. And usually those things go hand in hand, but obviously with the football program, that's not the case.
Yeah. I don't know. I have this feeling that not only should it not be done that way, I don't think Matt Rule's going to want it to be done that way. I don't think he's going to want to put himself in a position where other coaches are going to resent him for making a declaration of how much money he gets. I don't think he's that guy.
I agree with that sentiment. But if they're coming to him and saying, how much money do we need to win? If that's the discussion, because this is not about equality, because if it was, everybody would get the same amount. And if you need to drive money, you need to make money, you need to be successful, you need to have a seat at the table, because you don't want to be left out of the TV rights deal, you don't want to be left out of the conversation about revenue sharing, you don't want to be left out of whatever the Super League ends up becoming. You need to be good at football.
Nothing you're saying is untrue, Jimmy, but the practical sense is that hierarchy matters. Like, there has to be a boss. There has to be somebody at the top, and it's not Matt Rule.
I don't know if I agree. You're telling me that you believe that Troy Dannon has more of a say at what happens in the football program than Matt Rule
Troy
does?
Dannon can fire Matt Rule.
I don't know if I believe that either.
Can we look at this just from like a practical, just like cards on the table point here real quick?
Yeah.
Matt Rule, no matter what, then any other program in the university is going to need more money than anyone else.
Correct.
He has a roster that is exponentially larger than every single one on that campus.
And it's going to cost more.
So it's perfect. Yeah. So he is going to obviously command more money from the offset just simply to upkeep a roster in general.
Yep.
It was never going to be even, no matter what anyone says.
I mean, there's the Title IX question.
Right, which is still out there.
Yeah, the bowling team is not going to get the same amount of money that...
They win more, though.
That's what I'm pointing. That's what I'm trying to highlight here.
Yeah.
Is that they're not going to get the same amount of money that the volleyball team, the baseball team, the softball team, or the football team are going to get. Now, there's a thing called scale.
It's important.
It's not that hard to put this on a scale and say, this is how much you bring in, this is how much you need, and this is how much you actually need to sustain a program. Because to be fair, I don't know if anyone pays attention to college bowling whatsoever. But
parents of bowlers.
It's fairly easy to keep a college bowling team up and rolling when you've already paid for the most state-of-the-art facility in the entire country for your bowling team.
That's real.
I like it.
We just got an update from Troy Dannon. They're updating the PBA floor with Herbie Husker.
I like it.
That's really cool. I like that
yes.
too. Dan, here and guys, here's the point I'm trying to make. Is let's say Troy Dannon comes out and says, here's what everybody's making. Slaps it on the table, this is what you get. And Matt Rule goes, that's not enough. What do you think Troy Dannon's response to that is?
I think that I don't think it's like there's room for conversation.
I agree, but if we're talking about who's making these decisions, that's the conversation we're having here, right?
Yeah, and Troy Dannon should be making that decision.
So if Troy Dannon comes in and puts a piece of paper on the table and says, your budget is $16.9 million, and Matt Rule goes, no, I need 18.2. You think Troy Dannon's going to go, hey, sorry, man, that's the rules? I just don't see a world where that's the case. Now, is it going to be probably a little more, there's going to be some due diligence done and a little more delicately put than, hey, I need more than that or take that away from the softball team? Absolutely. But if it comes out that, hey, we need X amount of dollars to compete in the Big Ten and be competitive with Michigan and Ohio State, and if we want to build a roster that's going to be competitive for championships, here's the amount of money we make, and it's substantially shorter than the amount that you gave me. I promise you football is getting that money. So who is dictating who gets the money then?
Troy Dannon.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I don't think I could disagree with that more. Like, on its face, is he probably doing the numbers and running it? But if it comes down to it, Matt Rule feels like he needs more money. Football's getting it every time. 100 out of 100 times.
Like, bring it to the public though. If Matt Rule, like, if they're talking about this in public, and Matt Rule starts saying we're not getting enough money from the athletic department, the revenue sharing, it's not working for us. We need more.
What do you think happens?
I don't know exactly what happens, but I can tell you this.
I think you know what happens.
If it becomes a big problem, Matt Rule goes. If he starts undermining and countermanding his athletic director, he goes. That's insubordination.
If he wins 9 games next season and comes out and says the reason we lost to Michigan and the reason we lost to Wisconsin. The reason we lost to Iowa is because we don't have the NIL money that we need to win. And you're talking about a 9, possibly 10-win team that is somewhere around the realm of the Big Ten Conference Championship game. You think that the athletic director that got here after him, that did not hire him, will have the hierarchy? Listen, this is all hypothetical. Matt Rule and Troy Dannon are fine. These aren't issues.
Yeah.
You still think that Matt Rule would not be put up on that pedestal above that? You think that would be insubordination?
Yes.
That's not insubordination, though. It's, hey, this is what I need to do my job, and I'm not getting it. I think that's completely different.
So this is going to make you laugh a little bit, Jimmy.
Good, because we're getting too serious over
here. But to us, yes. If I were doing a hierarchy of Nebraska from the outside looking in, Matt Rule over Troy Dannon on my pyramid. From the outside looking in. But guess what? You know who doesn't care about that hierarchy?
Matt Rule.
The Board of Governors of the University of Nebraska.
Regents.
The Athletic Board of Regents, Board of Governors.
We knew what you meant. You got halfway there.
The bigs with the wigs. They are the ones who ultimately are the ones who can make those decisions.
That I agree with.
Behind the scenes, guess what? It does not matter if you're Matt Rule or if you're Troy Dannon. If they're unhappy with the way that you're doing your job or you step a toe out of line, they'll chop those toes off and they'll say goodbye to you, sir.
Yeah, but again,
or ma'am.
These are all hypothetical situations. I think it would sound more like a privately closed door where Matt Rule goes, hey, Troy, we know how important this program is. This isn't like, it's not going to be, hey, screw softball. We want him out of here. Rhonda Revelle could figure it out herself. It's going to be, hey, we want to help everybody, but if this is the priority, this is like, it's going to be delicately put. It's not going to be, this is too bad. He's not going to address it publicly.
Look, I'm not even saying that the football team won't get an outsized portion. I think they will. They will get the big piece of chicken at the table.
Yeah, I just think it's really concerning that they don't know how much they're getting yet.
It is concerning, but it's concerning.
Which is what we started with.
From it's concerning from the top, not from the bottom, to me.
Well, we got to get to buy or sell, and that's a discussion for another time. We'll talk to Brian Munson tomorrow. We'll get his thoughts on that as well. If you missed our second segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. You want to know what you don't want to miss tomorrow? A Wing Wednesday. That's right. You could be eating and drinking on us at the Blackstone location for Cunningham's Pub. What do you got to do to get in on it? All you got to do is follow us on social media, retweet or share out the gift that we post tomorrow on Facebook or Twitter. Follow us, follow Cunningham's Pub. We're going to enter you in a drawing to win a $25 gift card to the Blackstone location for Cunningham's. Check out Wing Wednesday tomorrow. We're buy or selling on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody. John here for Bob at Williams Law. Bob is perhaps one of the best legal minds I have ever been around. He's so sharp. He's so on it. When we bring him in studio to talk about the big legal issues, he always has the answers. If you need answers in your own personal life around legal situations that you may be involved in, whether they're criminal, civil, or personal, you need Bob in your corner. He's going to sit you down and give you a free, no-obligation legal consultation. What does that mean? It means you don't have to pay him any money to get his initial thoughts on your specific case. He's going to explain your rights, walk you through the process, and explain how he can give you the best legal representation that you can get. If you've got questions, Bob's going to have the answers for you. Check him out at williamslawllc.com.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
You can get a great craft beer pretty much anywhere these days. But what about the whole package? Dining out, service, and atmosphere? Come to Cunningham's Pub and Grill, home of Omaha's original smoked wings, now with 2 locations. We're bringing back Sundays at our Old Mill location this fall, where you can catch all the sports while enjoying quality food and drinks. Find your flavor and follow us online for unique daily specials and fun craft beer events. Cunningham's Pub and Grill in Old Mill and now Blackstone.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Hey neighbor, oh my gosh, is your energy bill sky high again too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion Windows.
Champion Windows? Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
This is the official station of the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament in Omaha. Follow all the action from the first tip to the final buzzer right here. Westwood One's coverage of March Madness is locally presented by Woodhouse GMC Buick and is also locally brought to you by Cubby's Convenience Stores, Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha, and OSI Oakland. You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.644 on a Tuesday night here at 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors and Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, and become a Bruin. Tonight, it's time for Buy or Sell with Dan Capen. What do you got, Dan?
Well, we haven't gotten to touch much on this yet, but the Stanford Cardinal, they've hired a new football GM, and his name is Andrew Luck.
What a time to be alive.
Just made his first big move today, cleaned house. Fired Troy Taylor via Pete Nakos. Taylor was being investigated for a bullying scandal. And I would like to point out not 1, but 2 bullying scandals. Buy or sell that this was the right time to be firing a football coach?
It was the absolute wrong time to fire the football coach. Obviously, it's the middle of spring practice, but this tells you that Andrew Luck in this investigation found something they didn't want to about their head football coach and had to make this decision, because that's the only reason that you make this decision in March.
As far as time of year, wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Time in the abstract sense, absolutely right. I mean, once this came out and once you got all the details of how horribly Troy Taylor had been acting, like, the guy's just a clown at this point. And like, honestly grow up. Stop being a junior high bully. So, yeah, I mean, in one sense, it's the wrong time, but in another, it's absolutely right.
I also want to read more into like how Troy Taylor was bullying his other assistant coaches.
Yeah, it's not just players.
Because when John, when you put it in the sense of stop being a middle school bully, I was bullied in middle school and in high school, of course, for fun. But I'm also like, I remember what it was like back then, and some weird Troy Taylor stuff goes through your mind when that happens. But
well, hold on. The direct quote from Andrew Luck is, since the beginning of my role as general manager, I've been thoroughly assessing the entire Stanford football program. It's been clear that in certain aspects, this program needs a complete change. Additionally, in recent days, there's been significant attention to Stanford in the investigation in previous years related to Coach Taylor. So, hey, we lifted up the rock, and all the skeletons and bugs climbed out from underneath it. So, yeah, it's not good.
Moving on to a college program, Michigan's offense ranked 129th in the country last season.
Is that good, Dan?
There are only 133 D1 schools. They have added 5-star quarterback Bryce Underwood and standout freshman wideout Andrew Marsh, who a lot of publications have listed as a breakout player. Buy or sell, Michigan and Dave Portnoy have done enough to jumpstart their offense in 2025.
Sell. Sell again, and then sell some more until I'm actually in the negative because I've sold too much. I don't believe in this coaching staff. I don't think they're very good, and I don't think they'll win.
Are you still gaslight?
No.
Dan's about to go off. I sell. I'm not necessarily in the boat you are. I think Sharon Moore and the staff can figure it out. I think they've done a lot to upgrade it, but we've never seen a freshman quarterback come in, grab the reins to a team that was this bad offensively and make them make that big of a leap. It's never happened. I think they can be good in 2 to 3 years. I think this coaching staff can do that. They're obviously willing to spend the money in Ann Arbor, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're probably not going to be 129th. I think they'll be a top 70 offense this year, but that's obviously a major leap.
Yeah, I think they'll be better. I think they're not going to jumpstart their offense in the way that a lot of publications think that they will. I don't like that I had to mention Dave Portnoy in that question whatsoever.
Why'd you write it that way, you weirdo?
It's just he's always on my mind when he co-stars in Family Guy and is always talking about pizza all the time and running a deplorable media company, which if we get to trash takes,
what do we got
I'll
next?
have something for that as well. The first round of the NCAA women's basketball tournament is down 22% viewership from a year ago. And let me tell you, this, folks, is not helping.
No, it's not.
Some folks...
Nope, it's not helping at all, Dan.
The silence never helps. Buy or sell that the women's game can regain the momentum without Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese?
I sell with the way it is right now. You got to find somebody that's another young star that can grab that attention and be the trendsetter that those two players were. Juju Watkins obviously had the ability to do that, but I think everybody that was watching that live saw it and went, "Oh, that's an ace." I mean, it was pretty apparent what happened. Obviously, USC has since then confirmed that, but I know you have Paige Becker who's a star, and you've got a lot of talent. I don't know if they're necessarily trendsetters the way that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was. And listen, rivalries help. Having Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark helped everybody. It raised the tides and raised all the ships. And that's what we love in sports. We love to have somebody to root for, and we love to have somebody to root against. And I don't know if you have that person in women's basketball right now to root against.
I feel like this is a failure of marketing because there are players out there. You have Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame. You have Paige Beckers. You have Juju. You have other players out there who can generate that sort of excitement, who could generate that sort of excitement. But Caitlin Clark was on TV every 5 seconds last year, and we're not getting that this year. For whatever reason, It's a failure of marketing. So, yeah, I don't think so. They have to do the same kind of thing that they did with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, where they were in front of audiences to make people care about them, not only as athletes but as people.
I think
you
need somebody to play the villain role. You need somebody to dislike. I firmly believe this, whether you're talking about any kind of athletics at all, because what do we talk about when we talk about rivalry? Why is rivalry week so important in college? Because you hate the other team. You're going to root for your team every week, no matter what. So if you're a fan of a local college, yeah, you're going to watch them sparingly. But if you have a team that you want to see them beat, it's going to put the butts in the seat. And you've got to have, like, there were people that were on Angel Reese's side. There were people on Caitlin Clark's side. And there was that divide. And that's why the talking points of women's college basketball were there a year ago, because you had that divide and people that were rooting for both sides. And I don't think you get the attention on a sport, no matter how often you put them on TV, without that divide.
It feels like the sport as a whole has in some ways failed to capitalize on the momentum that they had.
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you. All right. My turn. I agree wholeheartedly with you, John, because you have the personalities this connection. You got your technical superstar and your just literal superstar in Paige Beckers, who is primed for the next level and has been since she was a freshman.
Yeah, she's got to stay healthy, though.
Since she was a gosh darn senior in high school, she has been primed to be in the WNBA. You've got the young superstar in Juju Watkins, who sets the world on fire. And you want to talk about popularity? She is working her way up there to that Caitlin Clark level because she is so likable. She is, I'll say it, very cute. She keeps that bun on the top of her head. It does not move whatsoever when she is playing. You have possibly the greatest classic post in all of women's basketball right now, in Audie Brooks, who just throws her body and actually has classic, beautiful post moves. And then you want to talk about the villain. She won't embrace it, and they won't position her as it.
It's a problem.
But Haley Van Lith,
I agree,
is that person who could be your college basketball villain. It is a crying shame that she is a senior this year, because she is set up in a Big 12 that is very good at basketball and attracts that attention, but does not get marketed in the way that it is supposed to. Haley Van Lith is your kind of heel, bout-face turn kind of person, where she plays with a great deal of emotion and she plays with no regard for her own personal safety and for the ball's personal safety. She is going to pound the rock as hard as she possibly can and try every play.
Can I brag for a second?
Go ahead.
On my women's tournament challenge on ESPN.
Perfect.
15 of the 16 in the Sweet 16.
Golly.
Is that good?
Not bad.
Hey, if you missed Buy or Sell tonight, check it out at SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620. It was brought to you by our friends at Controlled Comfort. The mercury is rising outside. Don't let it rise inside. If you haven't got your AC unit taken a look at yet, you need to set up a maintenance appointment with Controlled Comfort. You can come out, replace the first filter in your here, make sure it's ready for the next winter, make sure it's ready for this summer, and get you some peace of mind about your HVAC this spring. Head over to ControlledComfort.com. Tonight, we're going to find out what's trending on social media. Spoiler, we already told you. We come back on 1620 The Zone. We told you yesterday it was National Cheesesteak Day, but you can celebrate National Cheesesteak Day every day at Pepper Jack's Grill. There's 10 great locations throughout the Omaha area. Maybe you're not a cheesesteak fan. Maybe you want to go with a little less carbs in your diet. They got steak rice bowls. They've got chicken salads. They've got an option for every diet in your family and every person in your house. All you got to do is stop by one of the 10 great locations, grab Pepper Jack's for dinner, for lunch, whatever it may be. It's going to crave your appetite. Check out Pepper Jack's Grill tonight.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? Get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jack's app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
It's basketball madness season at Cubby's. Stop in today for the new combo special. Get any size drink and potato wedges for only $1.99 with purchase of any deli item. That includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, grab and go, appetizers, cold case items, plus Chester's chicken. The madness of basketball means you save big this season at Cubby's. Available at participating Cubby's convenience stores in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. Stop into Cubby's today for the very, very best in convenience.
This is the Chef of Love, Chef Jannard, TV host and restaurateur. My grandparents harvested their land to sell food and share this overflowing bounty with our community. Grandma said, for every yam we pick, we give one away. In the world they cultivated, I love preparing and eating dinner with my family on Sundays. When our resources changed, food assistance programs sustained us. They gave me fuel to start my first culinary business at 16 years old, and inspiration to donate the extra food in my community. Through my life, I've developed an appetite to work with others to ensure everyone has access to the nutritious food we need to thrive. Together, we can help end hunger. Come on, join the movement with Feeding America by volunteering, donating, and advocating. Learn more at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Omaha Storm Chasers are the defending International League champions, and they open the season in Des Moines this weekend with a series against their arch rivals, the Iowa Cubs. Mick Batters has the call all season long. Follow the future stars of the Kansas City Royals across the International League and right here in Omaha at beautiful Werner Park. You can hear every pitch, every hit, and every play all season long on your home for Storm Chasers baseball, 1290 Coil.
Some people dream of the open road. Others chase the thrill of the ride. Now at Les Hills Harley-Davidson, you can do both. On March 29th, join us for our spring open house, a day packed with excitement. Roll the dice to win a Harley, enjoy live music, and savor food truck treats. Plus, test ride your dream bike for free. Don't miss out on raffles for epic gear and prizes. It's all happening at your home in the hills. Ride on. and feel the freedom. Only at Les Hills Harley-Davidson on I-29 Glenwood exit.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It's the top of the second hour, so we got to call a little bit of an audible. The Queens of Class B are in studio with us tonight. The Omaha Skutt girls basketball team won Class B's state championship this year. Their head coach, Kip Colony, joins us over the phone. But in studio, we have Molly Ladwig, Libby Shotcaller Shatkoski, and Mia McMahon in studio with us tonight. Ladies, thank you for being here, Coach. We appreciate you joining us over the phone as well. Coach, 3 straight runner-ups. What was the feeling like for you personally when the clock hits 0 and this team wins a state championship with this senior class?
Oh, yeah, it's a group of kids that have worked so hard the last 4 years. It kind of puts an exclamation mark on the season for these kids. Couldn't be more proud of the effort that they put in, preseason. They were dialed in, locked in, and they just weren't going to let it slip away this year. So it's a lot of fun to work with them this year. They really, really worked hard throughout the year.
Coach, I'm wondering if you have any advice for a coach out there, maybe who's made it to the doorstep but hasn't been able to get over that hill, sort of the way you have. What made the difference for you this year from a coaching perspective, do you think?
Well, you have to get lucky when you're down there. I think that's a lot of it. If you're not going against a kid like Prince, it makes things a little bit easier.
We weren't even going to bring her up. We promise. Hey, Coach,
you do have to persevere. I mean, you have to set standards. You have to set expectations. The kids have to know that they're going to work hard every single day. And I think that's the big thing when we have preseason meetings, individual meetings, and midseason meetings, postseason meetings, and we just do a lot of outside the basketball court kind of thing. Team bonding, is really huge in my program, and we try to develop that off the court, and because it, transfers itself on the court. So I think that's really important. Biggest piece of advice I would give is set the expectations high, make the kids uncomfortable throughout practice because you want them to be comfortable in game situations.
They're all giving you dirty looks, by the way. They can hear you now. So they're all looking forward to not going to those practices anymore.
Just say the word volleyball lines.
No, they all cringed. They all cringed. Hey, Coach, the championship game itself was a rock fight. You guys scored 43 against Norris, 58 against Bennington, just 37 points against Gretna East. They did a really good job all state championship long, putting teams in a phone booth. They are obviously a number 7 seed, made it to the championship for that reason. You guys were able to score the basketball at a high clip earlier in the year and throughout the state tournament. If I'd have told you going into the game you're only going to score 37 points, what would you have said?
I would say we'd still win the game because our defense wins championships, and we probably spend 90% of our practices dialed in with just very, very hard competitive defensive drills. Kids can tell you a little bit about that, and we felt very comfortable, with any kind of lead. To be honest with you, and we work on time and score all the time, and you hold Norris to 6 points in the second half, and I think they're one of the best teams in state, and then Gretna East obviously to 25 points in 2 games in the state tournament. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
and we have done that pretty much all year long. I mean, I think we're averaging about 65 points a game and only giving up 37. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, 37 is not, but Gretna East really good. They throw a number of different things at us. It was 1-3. We saw 1-3-1. We saw a box 1. We saw a triangle 2. And so they're going to try and mix things up a little bit, try and take out your top players, and so other kids have to step up. And we had that. Cam Kazner came in, and Molly obviously leads the show. Cam got some great rebounds. Mia goes down there and plays some phenomenal defense, and of course Libby comes in and just pulls off just an amazing game, with her injury. And so, everybody's got to step up at different times. And so that's what's unique about our kids.
All right, Coach, you got the trophy in the case. The medals are hung. Well, what's next for you? What do you got planned now that the season is done?
Other than blackjack at the Bellagio.
I'm actually looking out my window right now. The fountains, up going high, about 26, stories high, and looking at the Sphere. So right now, I think that's kind of what I'm just going to do is just enjoy my vacation.
You've definitely earned it, Coach. We appreciate you taking time out of your vacation to join us. We'll go over to the girls that are in studio with us now. And Molly, go ahead and step up to the microphone. Molly Ladwig is with us tonight. You walk off the court in your final game at Scott as a state champion. What does that mean to you?
No, it means a lot. Obviously just all the hard work over the years, kind of getting put to one game and finally getting that gold medal around our necks, and to do it with my best friends and coaches who have pushed us so hard, it meant a lot.
Can you kind of put into words the difference between finishing as a runner-up and state champion? Not just like the feeling per se, but the work that it took to make that little bit of difference in the final game.
Yeah, it's hard to say that like one game defines a whole season, but it definitely kind of feels like that, obviously, at the end of each year. I feel like our work ethic is similar throughout the years. It's not like we just worked crazy more hard that last year. It's kind of just, the team getting put together, and it's kind of all of our skill sets getting put together, and kind of, like Kip said, getting down there and the teams we play and seeing like all of it kind of collide is what kind of happened. But it was just awesome this year getting to kind of get it done, and makes the season feel a lot more worthwhile when you got a gold around your neck.
That's right.
You had some accomplishments before you won the state championship, though, right? You dropped 50 against Omaha Central. You scored 27 against Norris. So you've won a couple of postseason awards for Player of the Year and things like that. So much was made about your ability to score the basketball. What do you think you improved in your game in the offseason other than scoring this year heading into your senior season?
Yeah, I think for sure assisting the ball is kind of what I focused on this year. A lot of times I got doubled and such, and so my teammates just make it really easy for me to keep scoring the ball just by them scoring and me getting them assists. And so, getting double teamed and everything, and people putting pressure on different players definitely made us adjust. And that's kind of what we did at practice throughout the year, whether it's Mia getting face guarded, Libby, or whoever. And so it's kind of just made us think and made us have to score different ways. And so, I think my assists and kind of the other parts of my game kind of started to shine.
I'm sure you've answered this a ton, but a 50-point game.
That's a lot.
That's kind of magical. What was that like for you? Was there a zone? Did you have a feeling? I mean, did you know what was happening in the moment?
No, honestly, no. It was kind of like a zone. It was obviously a really competitive game. I don't know if anyone watched it. It was very physical, a lot of stuff going on, very emotional game for a lot of people. I kind of didn't really know. It's especially with our team, whoever's scoring, we're going to try to get them the ball. And it's different people on different nights. And so happened to be me that night, and it was actually halftime. Mia was the first one who told me how many points I had, and I just
kept hearing her yelling for you to pass it, and you just wouldn't do it. No, I'm totally kidding.
But no, it was fun, and even at halftime, I kind of tried to zone it out just because it was still a close game, obviously, and
sure.
All we wanted from that was a win, and that's what we got. And so it was a hard fought game, and kind of that added to the glory of it.
You're off to college. You're staying real close to home. You're going to Buffalo, New York to go to college. Why was Buffalo the right spot for you?
Yeah. Obviously, out of all my offers, they talked to me young, and the coaching staff is kind of what brought me there. They're an awesome coaching staff, awesome people there. I went on 2 visits, and I love the people. I love the place.
Just a huge fan of snow, or
how do you feel about waterfalls?
Niagara Falls was awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
No, I'll bring some boots though, and it'll be fine. But no, it was awesome, and it feels like Nebraska up there. It doesn't really feel like it's New York. So I'm excited to get up there and work with the girls. And the basketball part's going to be awesome too.
Well, congratulations on all the success. Congratulations on the state championship. And thank you for being here tonight. Libby, we'll go over to you. And we're talking to the Omaha Scott girls basketball team. And Libby Shatkowski joins us in studio now. You guys have never won a state title in school history. 3 straight runner-ups. You go down with an ankle injury in the semifinals. What's going through your mind when that injury happens? And what was that moment like for you?
Mostly it hurt pretty bad. So that was like my initial reaction. And then after that, it kind of struck me that, I might not be able to play my last game. And we had handled that game pretty well. So I had a feeling I'm like, we're going to make it to the finals. So I was just a little bit of disappointment and heartbreak almost. And seeing my teammates be able to celebrate and I'm kind of struggling, it was rough. But at the same time, I had such a good support system who was like, we're going to make this happen for you. We're going to make sure you can play. So.
Just out of curiosity, did we tell you guys were on camera tonight?
Nope. Not
okay. Didn't know if me and Molly knew what they were doing was being recorded at the same time. Sorry, go ahead. That's a camera right there. There's one right above you too. That's Dan's bed. Go ahead, John.
What are some of the characteristics about this group that you're going to remember the most?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. But I would say just our tight, like everyone is so welcoming and everyone is so hardworking and just like I've taken so many things away from these girls, especially just like the love we have for each other and like the fact that we always put each other first. We're so good about like building each other up constantly and just being there for each other. And this group is just like everyone has their role, everyone knows their role, and they just like do that role perfectly. And so it's a way that we all come together and we're a really good group of girls.
Well, the good news is the ankle healed up, and whatever they did to heal it up gave you some special sauce, too, because you go 5 of 8 from 3 in the state championship game. You lead the team in scoring. Why were you able to score at such a high clip in this game? Was it just as simple as Molly was finally passing the ball? Is that what it was?
That certainly helped, but no, I'm kidding. I think just Molly is obviously double teamed often. Cam works so hard down in the paint, so does Lainey. So like they're constantly, people are worrying about them. And then Mia gets locked down too because she's a really good shooter. So it kind of left me open. So that helped too, just like having opportunity. And like Mia, Cam, Lainey, Molly, they're all really good about knowing where to go or position themselves to where they know I can get open. So that was pivotal. And then also just having like, we have such a good group of girls, like I said, and our word of the year was kind of like composure. So when every time we come into a huddle or anything, everyone's like, stay composed. And so it helped me to just zone everything out and honestly just go play.
Tell me about the Scott Athletic Department. In your eyes, from the student perspective, why is it so successful across the board?
We have a great community at Scott, and just the way that everyone supports each and every sport, no matter if you play it or not, like you're always going to have support. All the parents, the administration, the coaches, like we have phenomenal coaches, great athletes, and just like when that all comes together, it just works out great. So knowing that you're constantly going to have support, you're always going to have great coaches, so you trust in what they're doing. It just helps to constantly be successful at Scott.
What does life after high school look like for you?
I'm planning on going to Mizzou, so I'm not continuing my career in sports or anything, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
What are you planning on doing in Missouri?
I want to major in bio and then hopefully become a dentist one day.
Oh,
okay. Oh, nice.
Well, good luck with all that, and congratulations on being a state champion at Omaha Scott. Thank you for being here tonight. Mia, we'll go over to you to wrap this thing up. We're talking to the Omaha Scott girls basketball team, and Mia McMahon, who has been doing everything off camera, now joins us on camera tonight. Not a question we get to ask a lot of players, and John asked Libby about the athletic department. You guys are not only the queens, but also the boys basketball team is the kings of Class B as well. What does it mean for the class of 2025 to walk out with both basketball teams as state champions?
I think it means a lot. We have a lot of like multi-sport athletes in our grade. I feel like from freshman year, I feel like we've been one of the strong classes. We've had great upperclassmen support and stuff, but I think I don't know, I think we're all very close, and I feel like we support each other really well, and it just feels good to like go out with like our best friends because they're the people we're surrounded with every weekend and every night. So
after the way last year finished and the year before, was there anything
you want to rub that in a little more?
Yeah.
Was there anything different about this year that you did to obviously get to the top of the mountain? You'd been successful, but had come up a game short.
Yeah. Those 3 years were tough. They were, so close, thinking, there's a little more we could have done every year. I think from the start of this year, we told each other, especially us seniors who have been together for 4 years, we said there's no choice. Like, we're not losing. And I remember, so one thing we said to Kip, too, before the state championship, sitting in the locker room, Kip came in and he was like, we were all fired up, ready, listening, all locked in. And he literally said to us before we went out on the court, he said, you guys aren't losing tonight. He goes, I can tell by the way you guys sitting here, you're locked. He's like, you guys, like, the fact that there's no choice but to win, like, you have this game. And I think we all knew that too. Again, before we hit the court, it's
a lot of experience in this situation helps a lot too.
Yeah, we were really confident.
And listen, you guys have won a ton too. Since your freshman year, you guys have never lost more than 2 games in an entire season. Do you have the ability to see the forest through the trees and know what that feels like to have that much winning success in your high school career?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I don't think I I personally never really thought about it, that we've lost more than, 2 games this season, but I feel like the mentality we have is every game is like a state championship, right? You're going to a state championship, you're playing a team that you have played before, having the confidence to know that you're capable of beating that team. I feel like that's what motivates us every game, just to know, like, also if we don't play well or something happens, the next week of practices aren't going to be fun. So I feel like that's a lot of our motivation to be successful.
Sometimes in sports, the dream that you have, the picture you have in your head of reaching the ultimate success doesn't always live up to the reality. Did the actual feeling of winning a championship live up to your imagination?
It did. For 3 years, seeing our opponents, a great team, but seeing them storm the court together, cut down the nets that we, shoot the ball through. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially after 3 years, seeing the same people do it. But I feel like it did live up to our expectations. We knew that it was going to be our year. We knew we had the time coming. So, yeah, it felt good.
I know you know the answer to this. Who was the first person to get up the ladder and cut down the first piece of the net? No? Maybe? Anybody? Wow. Who was the first person to climb the ladder and cut the net first? There had to be somebody that grabbed the ladder, made sure they're the first one up there. No?
No.
Okay.
Well, us seniors went last. So
okay. Well, there you go. Honestly, you guys were too busy celebrating to pay attention.
Yeah.
Hey,
hugging each other.
Hey, Coach, are you still on the line? No, I think he must have dropped. All right, we had one last question for him, but I dropped him. It's fine. He's gone. Yeah. We'll ask one last question to all of you guys, and you guys get a cheat because you're going to go last. Mia, stay right there. You're going to go first.
Great.
We'll go the opposite direction. Other than winning the state championship, what was your favorite moment of this season?
I'd say Arizona. We're really special, and we're really lucky that we get to, have the funds and the support that we do to go down to Arizona for a weekend. I think we get to play really good competition.
You guys have to have different answers, by the way.
I'm thinking. Yeah, we get the opportunity to go down there and play some really good competition from different states all over the country. That's definitely my favorite. We get a room together, 4 people in a room. It's
kind of like the college experience without the college experience.
It is. It's awesome. We grow close. He splits us up, like us seniors up, and then puts us with underclassmen. So makes us even
Who was your underclassman that you had a room with?
Kensley Stuva.
Shout out to Kensley. Hopefully she's listening.
Libby, I guess Molly was in my room too.
Libby, go ahead and step up to the microphone. Other than the state championship in Arizona, what was your favorite moment from the season?
Oh gosh, I would say just. You're stumping me.
Did you not enjoy basketball this year?
No, I loved that. I would say senior night was pretty fun. Just like the buildup of being. It was also very emotional, but I think it flipped a mindset for us that it's like we're really nearing the end. This is really it. And I think that's what helped to push us forward and say, hey, we're about to get to the state championship and like districts was coming up. So knowing that and senior night really like brought that into us. I think that pushed our team forward, and it was just cool to see all of our underclassmen appreciate us, and it was a good feeling to see how much they care about us. And yeah.
Well, Molly, I hope you've been paying attention because it's going to be the same question. Other than Arizona and the other answer and the state championship, what was your favorite moment from the season?
Probably the 4 a.m. practices. Just kidding.
I was going to say, well, now you can leave because there's no way that's a real answer.
No, for me, I don't know if it's one specific memory. I think all of our home games are pretty special just because that's kind of a routine we got into. We actually had a lot of home games this year, 13 in a row. Yeah. And we kind of got into a zone there where we had a schedule, and we had quite a bit of time after school and then before our games that we just ate together and we talked together. And I think that's a big part of our team bonding. And I think that's a big part of why we succeeded on the court too. And getting that time to spend with the girls is just so special. And yeah, something I'll cherish forever. So yeah, I'll just say those little moments.
Coach is back on the line with us. Coach, we asked the girls what their favorite moment from the season was, and I got one last question for you.
Sure.
What does this group of seniors mean to you?
Oh, I mean, they've just been a phenomenal group, bought into everything that we had asked them to do. Several of them I had coached when they were in 6th grade with the Nebraska Attack program. And so it's just been a lot of fun to watch them develop over the course of these years and just, grow into just such mature young women. It's an amazing group of kids that I think are going to be so successful outside of basketball. It's going to be fun to see them grow and develop and pursue their dreams and aspirations and see them hit those goals.
Well, you'll be happy to know they got some great content for their Snapchat and Instagram tonight. So make sure you check that as well.
Not shocked about that at
all. Coach, thank you for your time.
Sometimes
Enjoy Vegas.
Sometimes I wonder if we could run specials a little bit more effectively if they do a little less TikToking.
Well, maybe that's a good question for the junior class this year. Coach, we appreciate your time, and congratulations on all the success.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
That's the head coach of the girls basketball program at Scott Catholic. It's Kip Colony, and he brought in tonight Molly Ladwig, Libby Shotkowski, and Mia McMahon. Guys, thank you for being here, and congratulations on all the success.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be right back on the other side of the break, catching up with the women's golf coach at Bellevue University. Craig Marsh is in studio with us. If you missed the Skyhawk segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Get a maintenance appointment set up with Controlled Comfort tonight by heading over to controlledcomfort.com. Take a look at your AC, take a look at your furnace, and give you peace of mind about your HVAC this summer. Head over to controlledcomfort.com tonight. We'll be right back talking women's golf at Bellevue University on 1620 Zone.
Cunningham's Pub and Grill, now open in Blackstone. Signature smoked wings, one-of-a-kind sandwiches, wraps, burgers, and more. Fill your glass with craft beer or one of our house-made cocktails right on tap. Whether it's lunch with the office or watching the game with friends, come experience a great time. Keep up with us online for delicious daily food and drink specials and find your flavor at Cunningham's. Locally owned and operated in Old Mill and 38th and Farnham in Blackstone.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
You may have heard having radon gas in your home is like getting a chest x-ray. Well, imagine this. Monday, chest x-ray. Tuesday, chest x-ray. Wednesday, another chest x-ray. Day after day, constant exposure to radiation. That's dangerous, and it can lead to serious health risks like cancer. You can't see, taste, or smell radon, but it could be lurking in your home. Protect your family. Get your home tested today. Call Radon Defense Midwest or visit radonradio.com to learn more.
Hey there, I'm Tyler Bebout with Modern Real Estate. So when we come to your house for a consultation, we will give you a cash offer guaranteed up to $2 million. And then we also give you suggestions on repairs, remodels, or additions on what the future profit might be as you go to market. So when you're ready to go to market, we have different packages on how you can actually save thousands more on commission, depending on how you want to do marketing, how we want to pay buyers agents and things like that with the new rules that came out with the National Association of Realtors. Call and text at 402-450-5970, or you can go to myearnedequity.com.
The boys of summer are back. Kansas City Royals baseball can be heard all season long on your home for Royals baseball in Omaha, 1620 The Zone and 1180 The Zone. Royals baseball is presented by J. Stenick Contracting. We have you covered.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
$7:25 on a Tuesday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Over a decade of being the number one roofer in Omaha doesn't happen by accident. Check out pyramidroof.com for a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Speaking of doing it all, Craig Marsh, the head golf coach for the women's program at Bellevue University, joins us in studio, decked out in all the purple and white that you could possibly find. Coach, thanks for being here. Now that basketball season's over, you got some free time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Hey, talk to us about the program at Bellevue. Obviously, we've had you in a few times, and it seems like this program is growing every time that we talk to you. There's a lot of new facilities down in Bellevue. There's a golf simulator in the new gym down there as well. How is the women's golf program benefiting from the new facility at Bellevue University?
Yeah, we're very grateful for the new facility at Bellevue University. We put a lot of thought, we put a lot of groundwork, a lot of research into how and why we wanted that golf facility to be the way it is now. Bringing the putting green in, bringing 2 TrackMan simulators. The facility is just phenomenal, and we are so thankful for that. We've actually been able to utilize that over the past couple of weeks, and I really think it's going to be a game changer for us.
What does specifically the TrackMan system allow you to do from a teaching perspective?
Yeah, from a teaching perspective, it opens up all sorts of doors for us. We're able to look at all different sorts of ball flight, club path, club angle numbers. It really lets us hone in on, the things that players are doing, the techniques they're using, and the way that's impacting the ball and the flight of the ball. So really, we're able to have those numbers to be able to confirm to the player why everything's happening, and really it helps us improve their skill.
Because I would imagine, like, just watching it without the data, watching it with your eyes, sometimes your eyes can trick you a little bit and you might think you see something that you don't actually, but the tape doesn't lie, right? The TrackMan isn't tricking you into thinking something else.
The TrackMan definitely doesn't lie. It's got all sorts of cameras, all sorts of angles. And like I said, a lot of players think they know why things are happening, and the TrackMan definitely doesn't lie, and we can confirm that. So it's great to have.
When you're having conversations with players, because obviously you guys recruit locally, you guys recruit internationally, what does the conversation sound like today in 2025 with a recruit that's deciding where they're going to play college golf at? And what does that sales pitch from Bellevue University sound like?
Yeah, for Bellevue University, we have so many assets and we have so many great things going, from our Bruin Advantage Scholarship to the funding that we receive for athletics is just incredible. So to any student athlete, I just say, if you want a great place to study, if you want a great place to learn, and you also want a great place to compete, I don't think there's another better place in the region than Bellevue University.
Talking about golf at the NAIA level, I mean, what are some of the things that you can expect to see from athletes at this level? I mean, not necessarily compared to like a Division I, but I mean, what are some of the hallmarks of the players that you're bringing in? What are the things that you're looking for in an athlete?
Yeah, I think, to answer the first part of your question, the NAIA is a very talented league. From top to bottom, they're very talented. Obviously, it ranges in talent as you get to the lower level schools, but the upper level schools are really phenomenal. The things that I look for in an athlete are, a passion for the game of golf, a desire to learn, a desire to be part of a team, to go achieve great things together, and really just to be part of that something special. And we definitely can offer that at Bellevue.
It's apparently a theme with our guests tonight, but you guys just got back from playing a tournament out in Las Vegas and then spent some time in Oklahoma City. How much does it benefit these athletes to get out of the colder climates in Nebraska and get out to Vegas or Oklahoma and play in these warmer weather tournaments in months like March and February?
Yeah, it's incredibly beneficial for us, and it's very beneficial for the athletes. Playing locally, the grass is still dormant.
Sure.
They're not getting the conditions that they're going to see at the national tournament. So being able to get to Oklahoma City, getting able to get down to Vegas, we're actually playing course conditions that we're going to see at nationals. And we're also seeing great competition. We've already seen the number one team in the country in British Columbia. We've seen Oklahoma City University, Texas Wesleyan. You just can't beat the competition that you get at those sorts of events.
How much for you as a golf coach is your teaching focused on technique versus playing the game, playing the course, shot selection, those sorts of things? What's the balance for you there?
Yeah, like you said, I think it's about having a very balanced approach. Again, I look for players that are very well-rounded. And I think, a lot of the players that we see already have fairly strong fundamentals and technique. So really it comes down to helping them with emotional control, helping them learn how to mature into golf and make good decisions, and learning really how to play competitive golf.
What is the biggest difference as far as temperature and like playing conditions at this point of the season versus the end? And how do you coach to that from a standpoint of playing into wind, playing in the elements and things like that?
Yeah, we try every day. I try again to keep things balanced. I try to prepare them for things that we might see. And that was part of the fall training too, going down to Phoenix and having it be 118 degrees.
Yeah.
And we've also had, temperatures in the 30s that, it's rainy and cold and windy. So, just teaching them the skills that they need, whether it's windy or rainy or cold, and the adjustments that they need to make for those conditions is really crucial.
What's a favorite teaching tip for you that, I mean, maybe not even just your college golfers, but any golfer could use as we start to get into the golf season here in Nebraska?
Why are you asking, John?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I'm awful.
I think for any golfer, it's having the ability to be creative, to try new things, to not have any fear, trying out different things, and, really just working on your technique, keeping your fundamentals sound. Those are really the most important things.
We're catching up with the women's golf coach at Bellevue University, Craig Marsh, here on the After Hours Lounge. Coach, what does success at this level look like from a team standpoint as the coach, and how do you balance that with individual success in a sport like golf?
Yeah, so success to me, I'm a developmental style coach. I am very much a process over outcome sort of coach. So, success to me means, did my team go through the round without giving up? Did they stick to the routines that we had rehearsed? Did they stick to their game plan? Those are very, meaningful things as we play. Were they a good teammate after the rounds? And individually, every player is so much different. So
Great point.
For me, it's connecting and making those personal relationships and learning, what drives them, what's important to them. It's those relationships that help me help them achieve their ultimate success.
I'm interested to hear your answer to this question, because in most other sports, team sports specifically, the coach is on the sideline and the field is right in front of them, and it's a specific length and width, and you can see the entire playing surface. Golf is not like that. We're talking about acres of land. So on match day, what are you doing? Like, where are you on the course? What's your process for match day with your team?
Yeah, I try to put a lot of time and a lot of effort into our practice rounds, into scouting the golf course. I really try to identify difficult parts of the golf course, difficult shots, tee shots specifically on difficult par fours or fives, where I can be there to help them, guide them through maybe what would normally be a trouble hole. Around the greens, I feel like I can be really helpful, helping them select a shot, helping read greens. But ultimately, most days I leave feeling like I failed everybody, just because it's hard to spread yourself, amongst 5 or 6 players.
What's the best part about being a golfer at Bellevue University?
I think just the overall student experience. I think, the teachers, the professors, the coaches, the staff, they're all very favorable to student athletes. They're all very kind and generous, and ultimately they get a great student experience and they get a great competitive experience if they're an athlete.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you being here tonight. If you're a golfer in the metro area, you're looking to continue your athletic and academic career, Bellevue University is a great place not only to go to college, but continue playing golf. Talk to Coach Marsh, and maybe there's a spot open on the links for you. If you missed Coach's segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Jerry Ryan is the premier suit buying experience in the Midwest. They have all the options from sports coats to slacks, ties, golf polos, you name it, they got it. Maybe you want to get out on the links with Coach Marsh. You don't look good doing it. Stop by Jerry Ryan on 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. We'll be right back. A D1 school that qualified for the NCAA basketball tournament is going D3, and we're going to discuss it on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Dan Campanen here to once again give you my daily reminder that Pepper Jack's Grill. We've got 10 great locations throughout the Omaha Metro where I personally can get my new favorite, the chicken Philly. Of course, still with all the vegetables and that jalapeno juice to make it extra spicy. But if you are sleeping on this new cheese sauce that Pepper Jack's has, I feel bad for you. You need to wake up. Get over to one of Pepper Jack's 10 great local locations tonight because I tell you every single night, I'm starving right now. I know you're starving right now, and you gotta eat.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Partly cloudy, pretty pleasant here into the evening with the temperatures around 60. Later tonight, partly cloudy to mostly clear, drop back into the lower 30s for the low. And then back to mostly cloudy skies on Wednesday with relatively light winds, a high in the low to mid-60s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ramby from KETV News Watch 7.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to ControlledComfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jacks app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bebot with Modern Real Estate, and the 2025 housing market is looking better than ever. If you're looking to sell a home, then you will receive 3 things from me. 1, a guaranteed cash offer at our first consultation. Any type of property from $2 to $2 million. 2, an as-is listing price at current market value with no improvements. Or 3, we help you improve your home before selling so you maximize your take-home profit. So interview me before you sell. Get started at myearnedequity.com. That's myearnedequity.com.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:41 on a Tuesday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com and book a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, their siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com and get that free estimate in tonight. Some breaking news before we came on air tonight. You don't need the breaking news dropped in.
Thank you.
John Rothstein reported that St. Francis, the team that won the NEC tournament a few weeks ago and advanced to the NCAA tournament, is dropping from Division I to the Division III level. And I know that's probably surprising to a lot of people, but I think this is something that is coming at a high level.
Yeah.
It's going to come quicker than a lot of people probably want it to. And the reason for it is revenue sharing. Some of these schools just don't have the money to compete. They're not going to, even if they are successful at their level, and they don't want to be a feeder program to all the other Division I schools. I'm a little surprised it took this long. I'm also very surprised that one of the first teams to do it is a team that qualified for the NCAA tournament and all the benefits that come along with that. But I think there's a lot of people looking in the mirror right now and trying to figure out, not do we belong at this level, but can we benefit our students the best by competing at this level, and do we have the funds to do it?
I think the last thing you said is the main issue. Can you continue to operate at the Division I level and not run your school into such debt that it becomes untenable? Because like we see the numbers come out every year, and there's a very, very small number of Division I athletic departments who make enough money to not have to take student fees and apply them to the athletics department. Very few schools are able to do that. They get no disbursement from the university. And obviously, St. Francis was looking at this and saying, like, we're going to harm our academic institution by continuing down this path.
Which is an incredible statement, right? Like, when we talk about athletics and all the we just talked to an NAIA level women's golf coach a minute ago, and I think it puts into perspective how lucky some schools like Bellevue are and how unlucky some other schools aren't. I mean, how many universities have we seen just completely fold up in the last couple of years that were at the lower levels?
Looking at you, Dana College.
But not, I mean, like even more locally. Look at what happened with Grace University down on 10th and Hickory, and it's just, and they had a pretty successful basketball and baseball program as well. And it looks like it kind of feels like we've gotten to the point where the fun, shiny toy that was athletics is no longer looked at in that way. And it's either a money generator or it's not worth it. And I think we're really close to a discussion at the Division I level. And I'm talking the power conferences about maybe dispersing some pretty prevalent and probably talking about baseball programs because the sport's just not generating the revenue that they're going to need it to. And I don't know if it'll be listen, there aren't too many teams in the Big Ten that care about their baseball program. There just aren't.
There's a couple more now.
Right. But I really wonder if the super conference thing were to happen, and maybe it is just football, but if it's not, and you got to put X amount of dollars into your baseball program too, I don't think there's a whole lot of Big Ten schools that would do that.
Well, I mean, there's a select number of schools that are going to have the surplus revenue to be able to operate their baseball program and not be worried. It's a select number, though, and most of those schools are in the Big Ten and SEC, and a couple in the Big 12, maybe.
Well, I mean, you still have schools like UCLA that the school is on the verge of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to foot the bill for these athletic departments because it kind of feels like they need the athletic departments to pay for the school and not the other way around, right? But I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of something like this happening. I don't know if this is the last we're going to hear of something like this happening this week.
I mean, the other issue has nothing to do with athletics, actually. And it has everything to do with the rising costs of tuition. And you know,
that's a great point.
For some schools, it does have to do with athletics because the reason student fees and tuition has to raise is so that they can continue to have athletic programs.
Yeah.
And with revenue sharing coming into Division I, now that ask is even bigger. So if you don't have a large donor base, which St. Francis
probably
doesn't.
You're not up to date on all St. Francis's financial situations?
I'm not familiar with a lot of their alumni.
Be a better journalist, John.
And then you start asking prospective students to foot the bill for something they may not even care all that much about.
And students that don't even exist yet.
Or, you know, like, honestly, how many students choose a college if they are not an athlete, if they're just a general population student? How many of them choose a school specifically because it has athletic programs?
Very few.
Very few. So now you're asking students who don't necessarily care about this thing to help foot the bill to pay for the athletic program.
And I just want to say this, that like places like Nebraska, I'm sure there are several kids that are in Omaha that choose to go to UNL because they want to go to football games and have that be a part of their college experience.
That atmosphere.
Those schools aren't having this problem though. It's going to be schools at levels like this. But what I think is really cool of St. Francis is instead of saying, "Hey, we're just going to completely cancel the program," we're going to keep this at what we feel like it's supposed to be, and in addition to the school that isn't going to harm it, and we can still have athletics and still compete at some level. And we're going to gauge where that is. And instead of just dropping down Division II, we're going to go D3 to see what it looks like.
Which is a non-scholarship model.
Exactly. To see if we could sustain that while being able to foot the bill for the travel and the team. And to your point, not having to pay for the players to attend school and probably give them some scholarships in different ways. And what does that look like? And probably reassess and maybe try to make the jump back at a later time.
Yeah, it's the landscape is changing, and it's changing rapidly. And I think your assessment is right. Like, there are going to be more of these schools, especially in those basketball-only conferences like the Metro Athletic, the NEC, the CAA, those very small Patriot League. A10, I don't know. I think A10 basketball schools, it seems like they're going to be okay. But I'm talking about the really, really small school conferences where it almost feels like an afterthought most of the time.
I mean, but for the A10, we're talking about schools like Albany and NJIT. Like,
sure,
there's going to be some schools that are going to have a serious look in the mirror and say, are we an athletic school or are we not? And like, I kind of wonder when we talk about everybody's talking the big split. The big split's coming. The SEC and the Big Ten breaking off. I wonder what what the look will look like from schools. Because listen, there might be a residual effect. There's some schools at the Division II level, at the NAIA level, that may want to nobody's going from NAIA to Division I. That's not going to happen. But looking at Division II schools, that
St. Thomas went Division III to Division I.
But still, that's still not the same jump. But I think there are schools that do have a financial backing out there that can do that. And I think there's going to be more of these conversations where teams are going down. It's going to be really interesting to see schools that do have the funding available and are having profitable margins So everybody that wants to make the other jump too. And I think that's a discussion that's going to happen more often than not as well.
By the way, while we were, or excuse me, not we, you two were having this conversation, I looked into who the St. Francis's most notable alumni were. Lots of priests, lots of former senators and whatnot, but their most notable alumni is dead, first off.
Okay.
Died in 1932.
All right,
but he was Charles M. Schwab.
Oh, Chuck.
Don't think you could pull a little bit of that cash out of the Schwab family and say, hey.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends on where those other loyalties lie. Because is it only to St. Francis?
I guarantee you it's not.
Yeah, me too. Hey, if you missed that segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by our friends at AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. Check out axpservice.com for all your plumbing, water heater, gas piping, and backflow prevention issues. Check out AX Plumbing at axpservice.com because AX Plumbing is locally owned and operated, and they will leave your home or business cleaner than they found it. We'll give you our Papillion Sanitation trash takes of the night to wrap up the Tuesday show here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody. John Schreiner here for Cunningham's Pub and Grill. We are just one day away from everybody's favorite day of the week. It's Wing Wednesday. That's tomorrow. That's us. Wings in our faces. You can join us by putting those delicious smoked wings in your face as well. Get on down to the great location in Blackstone where they've got a brand new 300-space parking garage for your convenience. No more worrying about parking down there and figuring out a way. No, just go to the garage. Park in there, walk across the street, right across the street, in fact, to the great location of Cunningham's. Get yourself some of the smoked wings. My suggestion is you go with the House Buffalo or the 4-alarm if you're feeling spicy. Those are my two favorites. But any of the sauces that they have are going to be great. Also, try the blueberry sriracha. You'll thank me later. In fact, just get anything on the menu because it's all good. Get yourself some of those BLT bites as an appetizer. Jimmy loves those. He's also big on the everything bagel salmon wrap. Everything on that menu is so good. Plus the tap takeovers, all the great drink specials, all the TVs with all of the sports, all included at your favorite location, Cunningham's in Blackstone.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Allo Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com. Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
You can get a great craft beer pretty much anywhere these days. But what about the whole package? Dining out, service, and atmosphere? Come to Cunningham's Pub and Grill, home of Omaha's original smoked wings, now with 2 locations. We're bringing back Sundays at our Old Mill location this fall, where you can catch all the sports while enjoying quality food and drinks. Find your flavor and follow us online for unique daily specials and fun craft beer events. Cunningham's Pub and Grill in Old Mill and now Blackstone.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
If you're looking for a big screen experience, Exarban Cinema has massive screens and crystal clear sound, plus the best popcorn in town. Grab a bucket and settle in for the ultimate movie night. Catch the latest hits at Exarban Cinema, where every show is a blockbuster.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
Get started on your next adventure at Woodhouse GMC. No matter where you're headed, we've got a ride built for the journey. Lease the 2024 GMC Canyon AT4 Crew Cab 4x4 for $599 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Shop in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number V241217. Offer expires 3/31/2025. See dealer for details.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Wrapping up the second hour of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. Tonight it's time for our Papillion Sanitation trash takes of the night. I'm going to go and start us off. The New York Giants, the New York Football Giants, the G-Men are going to be must-watch TV for all of the wrong reasons this year. Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and Tommy DeVito is your quarterback room in New York. And it is going to be a dumpster fire. I feel very bad for Brian Daboll because I think he's a very good head coach. I don't think that Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, and Jimmy Johnson all rolled into one could save that franchise right now, and especially with the roster they've established. This is going to be a dumpster fire, and I cannot wait to watch it.
I can wait to watch it.
You know how much I love me some bad football, John.
Until those 2 weeks in which John sort of has to watch it?
Yeah, John hasn't canceled the White Sox
yet. If he cares about his
so.
team.
We're only days away. I'm normally the guy who tells you not to worry. I'm normally the guy who says there's a lot of time left. I'm normally the guy who says, just cool your jets about this. I'm telling you, friends, you got to worry. We are about 443 days from the next Men's World Cup, which will take place right here in these United States.
Oh, go off.
And the U.S. men's national team looks like it is entirely unprepared. Losing to Costa Rica and Canada in the fashion in which they lost is and should be, to anyone who cares about the U.S. men's national team, frightening.
Got a new head coach. Is it helping?
It has not helped yet. I can only hope that these are just the growing pains before something happens to make this team break out. But right now, I'm incredibly worried about being the laughingstock of the tournament that this country's about to host.
Yeah, that's a big concern. Dan?
Speaking of laughingstocks, John's favorite laughingstock of the internet, Barstool Sports, published an article this weekend saying, all right, folks, it's time we do away with the ticker on top of the March Madness screen with all of the other scores of every other game that's going on.
Bad take.
To that, I say, Horse Pucky, you should be fired. You should be taken out to the stables and spanked with a hickory stick, my good sir.
Maybe they need to go touch grass.
Is the best part of watching the college basketball tournament that is currently in the midst of right now.
You could say March Madness because we're not selling anything.
Perfect. The March Madness basketball tournament needs that ticker because that ticker tells me, oh my gosh, this CBS game has gotten out of hand. But wait a minute. This other game over on TBS is extremely close and is getting towards the end, and I definitely need to watch it. Keep the March Madness ticker for as long as a ticker can ticker. I love it.
I like that take. You know what else I like? The After Hours Lounge. And if you missed any of it tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Allo Business. Do you have a managed service provider that's not giving you the cybersecurity support or the phone support that you need? You need to work with a 24-hour real-life person, which you can do so with Allo Business. Head over to allobusiness.com and learn more today. From Dan Campen and John Schreiner, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Lobster Roll Day, everybody.
Pass.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? Get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jack's app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill. Time for brackets to be busted and thirst to be quenched. March is here and so are huge savings from Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola. Coke. 12 packs right now are buy 2, get 1 free all through the end of March. You can get Powerade 12-ounce 8 packs for just $4.99. And nothing makes the craziness get quiet like Coke. 6-pack mini cans, just 2 for $8 all March long. These deals are insane. Stop by Hy-Vee and get them all March.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows? Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole